What's up, guys? Welcome to Console Empires. Today I've got a best of 5 tournament series called Lords of Ice. This was organized on the Discord server, and the match that we're going to see here for third place is a contest between Zotico and Daniel Jones, who are two of the top players on the controller ladder, rated currently number 5 and number 6. Which, for context, this is going to be like maybe 1350 as far as cross input elo. We got a great set here between these two guys. Enjoy the game. Malay, Georgians, Saracens, Spanish, Khmer Ethiopians, Italians, and Teutons, and bands going across for both players, Bohemians, Cumans, Mongols, and Tatars. Seen those civs played and banned several times throughout the tournament, so I'm kind of happy actually with these bans. I would like to see not Tatars again, not Wagons again, not double TC again. So over here for Zotico, his picks Lithuanians, Magyars, Mayans, Japanese, Slavs, Byzantines, Dravidians, and Aztecs. And let's go. Game 1, best 5, Lords of Ice, third place. So Zotico right away pushing his deer, going deer before the boar. Deer are pretty close here, and there are quite a few of them. But deer before the boar is interesting nonetheless. Got a goose out there helping out with the scouting efforts. And doesn't know where the pigs are yet. We'll walk right into probably both patches. Turns the scout actually away from the second patch of pigs right there. So Zotico playing as the Magyars looks like, nope, still faking me out on the pigs. It's a good, okay, there we go. He does have the most crucial moment of the Dark Age so far. Pigs collected. And so let's check out his opponent over here. Daniel Jones, our number 2 seed, playing in the red. So Georgians start with this guy, the mule cart. Looks like he's not using that to scout. Just has that over here. Is going to take the ibex with it. Another good use of that is you can just follow the fallen animal around with it, not have to worry about trying to push your deer. But it's going to build a second one here on wood right away, interestingly. So with the mule cart, it counts as one of your buildings. So what some players will do is actually not really go to wood at all, because you, with your starting bank, can get a mill, and then you'd be all set to go to the next stage, and would only need to start collecting wood towards the end of the Dark Age to get your barracks and such rolling. So going for the boar, adding in a house here. Can I click on that pig? Pig still got most of its, well, a little more than half of the food left, so not quite the perfect efficiency that we were seeing from Faith in the finals, but a fine lore, all things considered, though. They're under the town center. So 2 mule carts up for Daniel. Hopefully he does not let that become a bit of a mistake, not realizing that the 2 mule carts don't count as 2 buildings, where normally, say, if you had milled here and lumber camped here, that would be 2 different buildings. Like sometimes on Nomad, you see players trying to go for their market to get to Castle Age, realizing they never made a mill and don't actually have the building for it. So similar situation could be brewing here with the double mule cart opening. And Zotico still working on pushing in the ibex there. Couple underneath the TC, pops out, nice lore. The lumber camp up on the back, so backwood, a ring around the map of thick trees on the inside and the outside. Flashbacks to Chaos Cup. Oh, you know, I don't think shared with, most people haven't seen the original Chaos Cup logo. I could put that up on the screen later. And it looks like this ibex gets the better of Zotico. He was having good luck with the pushes so far. The 19 population for both players. Zotico a little bit faster, cleaner in terms of idle TC. A few seconds less on this side. As it looks like Daniel is here. Scout, well, actually just turning away in the center there. So we mentioned the wolf bonus for the Magyars. They also get their infantry and cavalry attack upgrades for free. Cheaper scout line. And in the late game, they, with the recurve bow tech, have very strong cav archers, along with the bonus to create those faster. So Zotico has not scouted outside of his base yet, just now sending the scout forwards. And Daniel has spotted the berry patch. So far, red knows where blue is, but not the other way around just yet. Zotico on the way up to feudal age, starting to work on some walls. And Daniel did add a mill and now a barracks, so no shortage of buildings over here, as he is on his way to feudal age as well, on 22 population compared to 21 for Zotico. But 22 population, but no one on gold. So more common for going scouts to go up a little bit faster, like more like 19, or even with the Georgians, if they had done the one mule cart, no wood build can even get up as fast as 16 or 17, especially with how much deer is available and close on this map. So we'll see what Daniel's got in store for us here. I guess he could be going for the trash rush, maybe just spear skirm. Zotico is on gold on this side. And doesn't have barracks yet? Am I blind? Is there a barracks? Getting his wood upgrade right away. And gonna go for a market first. So FC in the final was the dominant strategy. So Jayburd, gonna take your suggestion there. And will we see the immediate GG as we reach Castle Age will be our prediction here in game 1. It's a market and a blacksmith and then a barracks for Zotico. And Zotico is actually scouted, or Daniel, excuse me, scouted that Zotico going for market blacksmith over here. Stable blacksmith for Daniel. The only thing he's produced so far is actually a spear that is going to get 2-on-1 here with the wildlife. I think we saw Daniel do this a lot last night, too, scouting with the Spearman. Spearman is getting some hits in. So Zotico should just Vilfight this, especially because he's got the numbers advantage and the animals helping out. And what in the lag was that? Spearman took like he made a football move before going down. That was ruled a fumble recovered by the defense. So Daniel's still going for the wolf rush, bringing over 2 wolves, 2 snow leopards over here to the gold. No villagers have died yet, despite those efforts, as both players on their way to Castle Age. The most created unit on the stats will, at this point, be Snow Leopard. And where are all these villagers headed to? Scout here in the middle. So Daniel coming forward with 6 villagers. The wolves, again, trying to deny that. So Daniel trying to go for the wolf rush against the Magyars. The unconventional strategy there. It's going to drop the forward fortified church to try to scoop up these relics. So the warrior priests do move faster than monks, and this thing can shoot arrows. The fortified church with the Georgians, though, if it was built in your economy, does give a work efficiency bonus nearby. Daniel actually going to go for 2 of those, and Zotico going to counter with a castle on the relics. So at the moment, Zotico building within range of the fire from the church could move his villagers over here to this side to complete the castle. And that is what he's going to do. A couple scouts go down there to the spearmen. Sometimes hard to tell if the player is dodging the arrow fire intentionally or we're just seeing some back and forth pathing nonsense. Spearman in, now trying to deny the castle. Monk out. And castle completes. Or the Georgians, they only get regular monks, is that right? And with the new civs, haven't actually, not sure I have all the details straight there. Yeah, so the Georgians just get the regular monk. It's the Armenians that have the unique unit from the same building, the fortified church. So Daniel still bringing in the relics despite the castle going up here. Zotico gonna add a monastery. The 3 fortified churches here around the center. And villagers headed back home. Archery range and seed workshop also up at home for blue. And fortified church at home for Daniel also. Magyar Hussar coming out of the castle. These guys actually not good against monks like a regular Hussar would be. And relics ejected from the fortified church there. Oh, he just went to ungarrison everything, trying to get his monk back out, and accidentally shot the relics out with it. And here comes a ram. Relics back into the fortified church. Monks hopping into the church now, getting away from the Magyar Hussar. These guys all pretty weak. And again, ejecting the relics. And monks go down that time. The fortified church likely to go down. There's the GG. Zotico is the victor. So I guess we'll count that as not an immediate GG. I know my text in the prediction, I realized after posting, it was a bit ambiguous. We did not actually reach Imperial Age, but this wasn't an immediate GG like we saw from Trump in the final. So we'll count this as a no, because we did get some fighting throughout Castle Age. It wasn't an immediate one. So Georgians a loss here for Daniel, and Magyars the win. So game 2. Here in our 3rd place series, best of 5. Our controller tournament, Zotico playing here in the blue again, and Daniel, his opponent here in the red, the 2 seed, playing as the Spanish this time. Plaza and Gambeson's free also. Monks move faster, siege workshop units a bit cheaper, and they get pop space from their production buildings. Boar in here for Zotico. A nice mill where the deer is also close and accessible to take efficiently from the mill. Daniel working on his boar over here, also adding in his mill. There we go, nice lord right there under the TC. Kids are in bed, time to vape nicotine and settle in for high quality AoE 2 console play. Let's go. So Daniel has scouted the middle, scouted his base, hasn't ventured out to find blue yet. And looks like that Zotico is actually headed across the map to scout his opponent presently. Zotico on 19, Daniel on 20 population. Zotico actually with quite a bit more LTC this time, 22 seconds compared to 2 for his opponent. Back here at home, Zotico working on some walls. We have seen an FC or 2 happen on this map. So Daniel is up, going to head to the next stage on 21. Zotico also on 21 population now, is going to produce at least 2 more villagers before heading up himself. Daniel pushing in some deer. His deer not nicely positioned next to the mill like we saw on the other side of the base. Gold and stone both on the front here for red. There is a gold on the back also. And on this side, Zotico has actually walled off his largest gold pile. He does have this one available inside of his base, but that looks to be like it will become part of the wall. So if Daniel goes for ranged units, that could be problematic. Barracks on the front here for our red player. who will be in the next stage in just 35 seconds. His opponent going up with 2 more population and a bit more idle time will be up in just a minute. So Zotico's got a villager on stone back here. And it's going to go for a bigger wall than I thought he might just wall here. But this is actually a much better wall, especially with the market there to reinforce some of the palisades. That would be a bit of a further walk from some of these other resources to try to defend that area if the enemy were to try to pressure there. So this gold will be a bit safer than I thought that it might have been. Still, though, a rough map with both of these golds falling on the front and outside where Zotico chose to wall. See a lot of dead sheep. Oh, sorry if I missed some big laming there with some sheep kills. Couple scouts out now for Daniel. Both players in Feudal Age. No kills yet. About dead even in resources. They were apart by just 50 when I glanced down there a moment ago. Zotico taking a bit of an advantage as I comment on it. And Daniel still pushing in a deer. And so the walls are complete over here. And actually deletes the tiles that would have been in front of the market. When I saw the foundations going, I thought this was going to be build the wall first and then place buildings behind it to double layer up on the wall that was further away. But just going to have the market be part of the wall, saving a little bit of wood. And Daniel grabbing bloodlines now, has 5 scouts with 1 more on the way. And Zotico wants to just go to Castle Age here. He does have his resources. Blacksmith will be up in just a second. And there we go. Zotico on his way up. 29 population. As Daniel arriving with some scouts. Did get bloodlines. But quite far from being able to advance to the next stage himself. Back here at home, just has the... Oh, it does have a stable and the blacksmith, so it would just need his resources, but only has 200 food and 30 gold at the moment. Looking for a hole back here, not going to get in. Zotico trying to rewall here, adding a barracks behind the house that's going down. And a frozen villager there with a wood pile. And bandit, yeah, best of 5. Scouts abandon the house there, seeing the barracks being constructed behind. Another one coming across the map. So 7 scouts in total for Daniel right now. Zotico a minute away from the Castle Age. And he won't have the stone to immediately place a castle as soon as he gets up. But is going to add in a stable. Spearman out, another on the way, grabbing forging also. House goes down, but there is the villager here working on the secondary layer. And back here at home, Daniel most of the way walled up. Daniel's map looked a bit more open than Zotico's here, so maybe some balance where Daniel's resource spawn seemed a little bit more favorable, but Zotico had the easier wall off. Another house goes down, but able to get the new houses up in time. Zotico in the Castle Age now, producing some knights. And Scout's going to try to attack here at the front again. Over here, Zotico just looking around. Had taken a brief stroll around the TC there previously. Going for a second TC on the stone here at home. And more house walling behind. So scouts again, forced to reposition. Still no kills in our game so far. As Daniel on his way up, about a minute 45 from Castle Age himself. And again, Zotico coming over here to reinforce the walls as they're being attacked by the scouts. TC completes. And just about the resources for Castle now. 600 stone in the bank for the Slavs. After they get that first one up, they can get the wood castle tech to be able to get a few more cheaply. And TC actually ranges those scouts. Those scouts again pushed away. Daniel 40 seconds from the next stage. And a couple knights headed forward for Zotico. Don't open the gate. Don't open the gate. Don't open the gate. Well, he opened the gate and Daniel runs away from the one knight. A knight does get a kill there, fighting 7-on-1. And then does go down to the scouts. So 2 knights over here still. And Daniel immediately goes to build a castle as he reaches the castle age. Zotico 1,000 stone in his bank. 14 farms over here. And just 7 over here for the Slavs. The Slav farmers, though, each one kind of counts as more, as their farmers do work 15% faster. Scouts again, trying to single out a knight. And going to disengage, actually, to target the scout instead. Castle at home completes. Will kill that knight. And going to have a castle between the gold piles here for Zotico. Scout does go down. Still 6 scouts remaining from Daniel. So big investment into scouts from Red to not really get any kills with them until we reach the castle age. 3-3 in terms of kills. 2 of Zotico's kills, however, are villagers. Still 2 TCs over here, adding in some more farms up to 11. Now 1 TC at home for Daniel, and still on 14 farms. Hasn't placed one in the past minute or so since we last checked in on that. Conks on their way. And scouts waiting for their amigos to come over here and back them up. Surprised to not see Light Cav here, as he's got 6 scouts surviving, and Light Cav is a pretty significant upgrade for how cheap it is. I guess in short order, not going to have 6 scouts, as enough knights here to take a better trade than Zotico trickling them in one by one to the scout pack previously. A couple spears wandering forward. Castle does complete, and a TC going up there on the gold now also. Zotico adding a siege workshop, continuing to play defensively here. Knights still chasing the scouts. Conks headed over. And second TC on the back gold for Daniel on this side. Where did those knights go? Oh, they're in the castle. So Zotico just healing up his knights now. Conks headed back this way. Trying to see if there's a hole there on the back of the map. There is not. The knight who got into Dan's base. Like, what's next? I didn't think I'd get this far. Zotico going for monks. Is a relic right there by the monastery. And the Slavs do have speedy monks. 20% additional speed on them. They don't get fervor, though. So bonus more, not so much that the monks are much faster, but that they're faster right off the bat here at early Castle Age, where you might not always want to invest gold into that tech. Honks get a kill or 2 here under the TC. Has the +1 armor on the Conks so far. Sanctity coming in for Zotico. As well as Wood Castle's Detonettes. The Slavs' Imperial unique attack, also good. Druzina gives essentially like splash damage, trample damage to their infantry. Honk snipe a monk there, denying that relic. Both of these, though, pretty close to Zotico's monastery now. Monks can be pretty good against conks. We haven't seen Zotico actually go for a conversion yet. Has just been working on the relics. No garrison there as the conks head under the TC. Third TC and a monastery now for Daniel at home. Garrison there now. The Ball of Conks has 4 kills. Monks moved back here to help defend. And 21 farms now compared to 19. So that farm count has flipped in Zotico's favor now. He was behind in that stat the first few times that we took a look at it. Close game in kills, 8-7. And both players with 14,000-ish resources collected. And Daniel's going to go for forward siege. Three monks. I was going to say coming forward as they stopped. Scout does have vision there on the relic, and Sneaky Monk gets the steal. And now Daniel's sending the scout to chase. Relic will make it home into the monastery. And the monk gets into the TC. One monk into the castle. Boyar. Boyar is kind of cool. They get a lot of melee armor, almost like a mounted Teutonic Knight. So 4+1 so far on the Boyars. Daniel not taking the relic here, though his monk is right there, and dropping a castle here on the TC on this side. Zotico does see that, doesn't seem to have reacted. Castle will not range the TC. And another forward siege workshop. So a forward siege workshop on both sides. Mangonels coming out on the left. Defensive Mangonel for Zotico. Defensive castle now also. Castle complete. Very tough to deny a Spanish castle given that build speed bonus. And now a forward town center. The next play for DJ. Couple idols here at home. Working on some blacksmith upgrades. So getting Bodkin for the castle. Which does range the TC now that he grabbed Fletching. When that was under construction. Did not have that yet. The range was just there to the stone pile. The forward TC is complete. 2 Mangonels there inside the workshop. And Zotico adding an archery range. Doesn't see that the workshop is there yet. Mangonel working on these houses here underneath the castle. And Conk's just kind of patrolling around in the center area of the map. I don't think I'll even see that when the range goes up. Like 1 tile away. And now can add a TC. Mangonels pop out. Oh! TC Foundation shot down there with the Mangonels. Well played from Daniel. Honk's trying to micro back there from the Knights and Boyars. So Siege goes down, but Daniel will win the fight here. And actually only one of the Mangonels goes down. The second one stays up with about half its HP. TC slowly getting chipped away by the castle fire. Is a hole here now as the Mangonel has broke through the house wall. Honk's taking care of the freshly built archery range. And Zotico still working on bringing in some of these relics. So 2 relics in for blue so far, none for red. A couple stables at home, as well as a defensive castle. And Zotico on his way up to the next stage now. And that was a big swing. Yeah, Daniel ahead at 27-13 in kills now. Was before that fight much closer in that regard. And Conk's trying to get some villager kills now here on the wood. As the Mangonel trying to eat TC. No repairs, though, on the Mangonel. Still weak. Could actually just send the villagers forward on that one, as there's no military here to defend it. Honk's going to break in through this house on the backside of Zotico's base, who is 2 minutes out from Imperial Age. Daniel, a few 45 seconds or so behind that. And here we go with a couple conversion attempts. One Conk change aside. Second one there does follow. Mangonel goes down along with some villagers, both converted conquistadors dealt with, as a third monk tries to make his play and gets a quick conversion there for Zotico. These conks have 19 kills now. And gonna find some more over here on the wood. Zotico wants to add a castle over here to defend, as he's taking the heavy losses there on the wood line, up to 50 kills. Now for Daniel, was just on 27 a moment ago. Imperial Age 30 seconds away. Blacksmith under fire from the conquistadors. Castle at 87%. And Zotico spam clicking there to get the castle up. Imperial Age comes in. And now GG. Alright, I guess not. So Daniel missed the memo there. Honk's looking back here in the corner. No more villagers to be found on that wood line. So just 2 TCs right now for Zotico, 4 in total for his opponent. The blue going for Trebs, Conscription, and Elite Skirm. Skirmishers do perform well against the Conquistadors. No protection, though, for these Trebs. Well, there are the monks here. And so Daniel actually does retreat from the monks. He previously was letting the conversions go unhindered. So based on the different play there, Trebs actually do stay up. Boyar's in going to clean up the rest of the conquistadors. And yes, so 3 Boyars will remain after that engagement. Light Cav in now, trying to stop the castle on the front. Zotico still bringing in the conversions. The castle denied. Zotico did get the unique tech, though, so not as much stone in the cost of the castles anymore, replaced partially with wood. The Boyars should shred Light Cav. The Boyar 13 attack right now, 5 armor compared to 8 and 1 for the Light Cav. So in the end, the numbers and the converted unit end up winning the fight. Ram push from Daniel here. Did grab capped ram. So that's 5 capped rams into the base of the castle. Castle with just 500 HP. Treb still firing on it from back here. And castle goes down. 31-5 military advantage for Daniel. Daniel ahead in eco also. And big raid here from the Light Cav. And so it's looking like we might have ourselves a series in this one. And GG there from blue. So Daniel takes game 2, 1-1 now in our contest for 3rd place in Lords of Ice. That was Spanish getting the victory, and Slavs being defeated. I don't know if it's a long or a short A there on that one. So for DJ, we'll have Malay, Saracens, Khmer, Ethiopians, Italians, Teutons for the remaining potential 3 games. And for Zotico, Lithuanians, Mayans, Japanese, Aztecs, Dravidians, and Byzantines. He's picked Byzantines a lot. Byzantines must be one of Zotico's favorite civs. We've seen those at least 2 or 3 times from him in Lords of Ice. Daniel meant to pick Magyard. We are not on hideout, sir. So Zotico playing as the Aztecs here in the blue. We did see Zotico getting 6 conversions in the last game, so might be going for Aztec monks here, especially if we do see the cheaper battle elephant from the Malay on the other side. Aztecs also, their villagers carry more. There's not any deer on this map, though, where that can make a difference. There is just the 1 boar, some fish, and the berries. That does help out with farming, though, once we get to that stage. Almost like having like heavy plow a bit earlier, as that increases the carry capacity by 1 also, I believe. Aztecs start with a bit more gold, and do get a bit more gold from relics. And Daniel coming forward quickly to scout. Previously in the series, we've seen them take a more thorough look around their base before heading forwards. And Daniel here already, just 3 minutes in, has found berries. And Eagle gets the first hit. Eagle is stronger right now. Eagle can also heal after the fight. Warlord comes in cleanly for Zotico, despite the little skirmish with the scout. And over here in the red for Daniel, playing as the Malay. I have mentioned it, wishful thinking, a few times so far, that someone will get the harbor tech and protect their gold next to the water and a nice little fish boom. It has not happened. Here's hoping that Daniel makes my dreams come true here in game 3. Malay docks also get a bunch of additional line of sight. Useful on a map like Nomad, not so much here as the lake is so tiny. They also get their armor upgrades on infantry for free. Don't know that you'd want to play infantry into the Aztecs, though, given that the Aztecs have good infantry, and the Jaguar Warrior with plus 10 bonus attack against infantry. The Malay advance to the next stage faster, and like we'd mentioned at the start, get their elephants much cheaper. Their elephants are kind of bad, though, missing bloodlines and some armor upgrades. And Scout back over here after being pushed away by the Eagle earlier, and not going to engage with the Villager, who does not have Loom yet. Eagle gonna harass over here on the pond. We have seen Eagles in 2 separate series get an early kill. So Daniel going to now wall in the fishing villagers there after the harassment from the Eagle. Or maybe just gonna make some decorative palisades, and it's a stair set. So you walk on the partially built one here, and then onto the full one, and then you can access the roof of the mill where some repairs are needed. You see this is leaking onto where the mule is there taking his laps inside. The mule doesn't like to get wet, and he's already, much to his protest, working right next to the water. So this wet mule is an unhappy mule. So Daniel building the stair set to access this tarp will be extended over the roof, the leaf roof, not sufficient for our livestock friend here. Anyway, Zotico on his way to the next stage on 20 population. Zotico again a bit behind in idle TC, up to 25 seconds. Similar performance to game 2. He was more cleanly through the Dark Age in game 1. as Daniel reaches the next age first, using that melee bonus there as Zotico completes his barracks. So I guess a combination of factors there for Daniel, who's sending some villagers forward to build a tower, I assume. Eagle is going to spot that. But less idle TC, lower population up, and the melee bonus going up on 19 as melee really early, given that you don't get to harvest as many resources on your way up. But getting a tower down before your opponent is in feudal age can also be very valuable. 3 militia there for Zotico, ready to defend. 10 seconds out from being able to grab his man-at-arms upgrade. Does have the 40 gold in the bank to be able to afford that. Bill fighting with the scout. And that was not the right moment to retreat. At that point, the villager's already confirmed dead. Might as well get another hit in. Scout does go down. Tower trying to go up. Villagers fighting the militia. Men-at-arms 10 seconds out. 1 militia goes down before Men-at-arms able to come in. And Zotico now retreating briefly as he has his Men-at-arms upgrade now. Tower still not complete. Tower at 70%. 2-2 in kills now. Tower up. Garrison. And ejects 1 villager to immediately start building a second tower. Zotico continuing to produce the men-at-arms. So has 3 now, despite having lost 1 during the construction. And yeah, big spike in idle time. Shot up from 22 seconds, now over a minute, and climbing for Zotico. So big value out of these towers for Daniel so far. And Zotico did click the tower here. The villager getting free shots, and now a reaction. The man-at-arms turns around after his comrade had fallen, like, "What, bro, I'm doing all the work myself." Oh! And villager goes down. Second tower completes. Man-at-arms goes down. Daniel going to add a 3rd tower. Towers do range the berries here. So Zotico still able to take gold, wood, and farming and fish with the berries denied. So as far as resource denial, the tower is not super effective, but they did cause a full minute of idle time. And Daniel is ahead in terms of kills by 2 right now. So ahead by 3 villagers. Daniel has no army. And just going to garrison those guys in the tower and hop back out. Zotico has already abandoned this wood line, seeing the pressure from the tower is coming, and Daniel stealing the berries here now with his forward villagers. Doesn't have the wood for a mill. 3 more villagers coming forwards now. And Daniel still taking stone. There's the mill, and the way this is going, we'll have the stone to follow up with the castle here in a few minutes when he reaches the next stage. Has not clicked yet, but does have 5 villagers taking stone, almost 400 in the bank. Zotico defensive tower here on the gold. So I like this tower. Could stand to have a few palisades or houses there around the base. And yeah, Daniel was doing a pretty good job keeping his TC running during the start of the tower rush. Is up to a minute of idle time himself now, though. Zotico just about to 2 as villagers trying to rush down the tower as Daniel tries to construct it. Villagers do get some bonus damage here, so the tower will go down quickly to villagers. These guys going back to garrison, though this tower does range the new foundation. The tower goes up, but just down to 100 HP. Will immediately go back down. Daniel trying to repair. Tower back to 100. And Zotico gives up on trying to batter that one down as the repairs come in. So range indicator's a mess right now with how many we've got on top of each other. But this tower does range the TC. And Daniel wanted another one in this direction, pushed away, though, by the defensive tower from Zotico. And one man-at-arms over here in the enemy base. And Market Blacksmith, the next move here from blue. So Daniel grabbing his farm upgrade. Doesn't have his wood upgrade yet. Another tower coming up. And Daniel has fletching for the towers. Zotico does not yet. So the new red tower coming up can be built safely as it's out of range from blue's tower, but will range that once complete. And so far, Daniel letting the tower fire on the TC rather than taking his tech advantage there and shooting down the tower from his opponent. And Man-at-Arms seems to have ventured under the TC here on the other side. Daniel going to gold now. And did add a defensive tower at home to protect his stone income. Market coming up for him also. Nice little box around the wood line. Does have an idle villager out here. And now Daniel's turn to try to rush down the tower. Low HP Ville is going to go down there. And Zotico trying to repair as he's 2 minutes out now from the castle age. Our Malay player, though, does have 500 food and will research that faster if he does click here in the next few moments. Looks like he's using the market actually to try to do the same. So despite Zotico clicking first, Daniel might actually make it there first. Tower goes down. And Zotico grabbing his farm upgrade now. We did see that already come in for Daniel. So Zotico will have both those eco-techs in, just the horse collar on Daniel's side. And deleting a wall there to add more villagers on stone. So 10 on stone now. And has 6 forward villagers here taking the berries. So Zotico is going to get to the next stage first, just by 10 seconds though. 15 farms over here, just 5 on this side. No Malay fish boom, sad times. Zotico up to castle age. Added in a couple barracks over here. And gonna go siege workshop. So a mangonel with a repair villager does totally fine against watchtowers. If Daniel gets guard tower, though, that becomes a different story. And Daniel immediately wants to drop a castle here between the towers, as he is also in the castle age now. Zotico's got a couple eagles. And does see the castle. Castle going up very much in his face. Castle will range the TC, but not the gold over here. Mangonel coming forwards. Big shot there, killing 3 villagers. 2 more. And castle denied at 70%. Ah! What are you doing? So still 1 villager here working on the castle. Villager has 4 HP. Villagers there to repair the mangonel. Villager pushed away again, and villager going to garrison. And villagers working on the tower now. They are being shot from 2 other towers as they do this. A couple eagles headed over. And 5 more villagers from Daniel headed forwards to try to finish this castle. There are 2 mangonels and some eagles here now, though. Castle at 76% as the villagers get back to work. Eagles immediately do get a kill there. Both eagles dead now. Zotico might have actually shot his own eagle with the mangonel. Mangonel's still doing work, though, and Castle denied again. These mangonels have 10 kills, stopping the castle from going up. The first tower goes down. Mangonels still continue to work. Zotico continues to task the villagers over to repair and to help batter down the towers. At home, second TC right next to the starting TC here for our melee player, who's adding in some archery ranges. Villager hops out of the tower, has twice the HP that he did before, and goes down. Rocks to the face there from the 2 mangonels. Alright, tower gonna go down. Castle still at 85%. And so with multiple mangonels, especially, the watchtowers go down quite quickly. Zotico grabbing Forging and Eagle Warrior. And there we go. Castle not going to complete. Make it stop. Maybe Daniel heard you and just decided to delete the foundation there. Solid defense. Yeah, that was well played to... Daniel got some value out of the initial panic, forced that idle TC time with the tower rush, but Zotico in a good position now with all those kills and cleaning everything up. So Zotico ahead 16 to 13 as the Eagles now raiding under the TC, pushing Daniel off of gold. And so Daniel decided to commit to getting the crossbow upgrade, even though he saw the eagles after starting to place the ranges. Crossbow just came in after he'd seen the eagles. An interesting decision to commit there. Not a huge number of eagles, I guess, though. Zotico is grabbing his +2 armor. Crossbows do already have Bodkin Arrow. Eagles getting another kill there on the gold. So Zotico focusing on the villagers, taking free shots from the crossbow. 2 eagles go down. And Mangonel's here. First shot misses, going over the heads of the crossbowmen. I need to turn that excess wood into a nice safe fish boom. Love it. And Revenge Castle here. Zotico says, I am the one who drops. New gold mine on the back there for Daniel. And Mangonel's trying to eat TC. Let's dot just the mill over here. One villager so far. Gonna start the castle. Not gonna wait for his friends. So we'll be 15 villagers headed forward in total, it looks like. Squire's coming in now for the Eagles. Eagles will find a kill there on what used to be a wood line, now on more of a stump line. That's just the 2 trees remaining over there. And this castle all but certainly going to complete. Forward barracks coming up behind and gonna steal his opponent's gold. You stole my berries, bro. What? I'll steal your gold. TC down to 1,300, 1,100, 1,000 HP now, under fire from 3 mangonels. Castle does complete. Castle can range the TC also. And crossbows coming across for a counterattack. TC goes down. Mangonel's moving forward for the second TC. Eagle's just chipping away at the house. And over here, crossbows don't have any kills yet. Forced to garrison, though. Eagles come over to deal with that. And there's the GG from Daniel as our players continue to trade here. So 2-1 now in favor of Zotico in our best of 5. This is how many villas you need to fort castle. So Aztecs for Zotico with the win in game 3. And Malay for DJ going down there. But remaining civs on Daniel's side, he'll have his choice of Saracens, Khmer, Teutons, Italians, Ethiopians. And for Zotico, Lithuanians, Byzantines, Dravidians, and Mayans, Japanese. Mayans would be an interesting play from Zotico on that map, given that their double gold comp going crossbow eagle can be very strong if he's able to claim early control of that big gold in the center and sustain the double gold production. Could be quite strong. So Zotico playing here as the Lithuanians. Lithuanians get additional attack from the relics, have the speedier spearmen, and their monasteries work faster. Zotico has played well with the monks in the series so far, so as Civ with strong monks here, Lithuanians again could be well played by him. We didn't see any monks as the Aztecs, though, interestingly, in the previous game. Just went for Eagles into a castle drop there, winning the game in the last match. Daniel hopping out of the TC, lowering the boar here as the Khmer. No prerequisite buildings needed for this civilization, so some wacky and efficient build orders can be possible as Daniel's pushing the deer ibex down the mountain here with his scout. So we could go no barracks straight into a stable, or with scouts, for example, with less villagers on wood to get there a bit quicker. And similarly, going to the next stage, don't need your buildings at all. Sometimes going for an FC with this Civ can be pretty wild, as you just click immediately as you age up without needing to produce a village or do anything. These guys can also jump in and out of their houses to garrison. And don't know if it's been fixed. You used to be able to make a roller coaster that if you had like a bunch of houses and garrison here and ungarrisoned over here, the villager would and teleport through them. Second boar comes in. Villager takes a few shots down to 11 HP. Lore complete, though, right under the town center. Daniel still working on the deer, and Zotico here early. Well, not actually so early. It's about 6 minutes in. We saw Daniel came forward 3 minutes in the previous game before the tower rush. Quick garrison there from Daniel, and Scout goes down. And going down outside the range. There, nearly made it. Zotico grabbing Loom on, well, I guess it would be 19 pop, but the scout has fallen. So on 18. For a second, I thought he was going up really early. But does have the same number of villagers after just losing the scout there. Resources collected, Zotico ahead. Still pretty tight, though. Well, ahead by about 100. That's GG, pay you. And Daniel looks like he's going back for another deer here. So Zotico on his way up, Daniel not yet. Daniel on 21 population. Has 2 more villagers in the queue, so maybe he actually is going to go for no buildings FC here as the Khmer. It looks like Ibex maybe got the better of him there, as attention was going to make a barracks anyway. So going up on 24 with a barracks. Not sure what to expect from that. Ibex comes in now. Bounces away a little bit. Still a decent lore, though. Zotico working on some walls. Zotico did play defensively on Ghost Lake. Ended up losing that match, though, ultimately. Zotico going stable opening here as the Lithuanians. It's a decent chance Daniel forgets that he doesn't need to make the buildings. Jay, you like the pronunciation on, yeah, so Khmer is how I've been saying it, which I guess is about as close as you can say it in English to the way that they would say it in Cambodia. I know most players refer to it as, say, Khmer or Khmer, but I guess the way it's like natively pronounced is more like Khmer. It's the particular, that exact syllable combination doesn't exist in English as it does. So while it sounds to me like I'm doing a pretty decent job at saying it, I think if any of you are native speakers of Cambodian would be able to hear a heavy accent at the best. Otherwise, doing my best to say it correctly. Bunch of villagers coming forward. Nope, bunch of villagers to finish off the Ibex. So 10 seconds out from feudal for Daniel, housed here at 25 population. Zotico also on 25 as a couple scouts descending the mountain. Downhill hit to open things up. Daniel got players both now fighting for position on the hill. And Zotico gets the kill. And second scout actually split up to harass the villagers on the deer there. So I would have went with both scouts attacking this scout to guarantee the kill there. Zotico confident in his micro there to take the hill advantage and get the kill, while managing at the same time to harass some of those weak villagers on the deer. The old Crooked Woody Culture Club. All right, scouts just looking around here. They do grab a sheep that Daniel didn't find over here. Maybe Daniel also playing with big trees. So blacksmith here for Daniel. Horse collar coming in for him. Daniel on his way to Castle Age. So in 2 minutes and 15 seconds, Zotico going to resign. As that is the meta in Lords of Ice, as we learned earlier this afternoon. So 7 farms here coming up for Daniel, who doesn't actually need, with this Civ, the Khmer, to place them here, as the villagers do just gather the food without needing to drop it off. So, I mean, farms still make sense still for the protection, but you can also just put it wherever, put a farm anywhere you want. Kind of trick with that, with these guys. You can send the villagers out here to take the deer and build a farm to drop off the food. Especially if you turn farm reseeding off, then that villager's not stuck out there forever. Can move them on to whatever other task later on. 7 scouts, well 6 here, 7 in total exist for Zotico coming forward. And well, so Bandit, I didn't actually kick him. I just did like a temporary mute, and he bid us adieu. 7th scout catching up. Bloodlines wheelbarrow coming in for Zotico as Daniel has hit the Castle Age, is producing knights and grabbing his armor. 3 spearmen here protecting the gold. Spearmen immediately get a kill. Another weak scout in there could go down. Disaster here for Zotico. Losing, well, 3 scouts, actually. Does manage to kill all 4 spearmen with that numbers advantage. 3 more coming over as the scouts taking TC fire now as well. Another scout goes down. Daniel ahead by 1 and kills 5-4. And now Zotico pulls away. He still bitches about it to this day. I would expect no less. Daniel going for the 2nd TC now. Has 2 knights out, 2 more in the queue. So here are those first 2 crossing the center area of the map. Scouts just hanging out over here in the corner for now. Zotico getting close on his resources to head up to Castle Age. is fully walled here at home. Corner boy wall, actually, here, the way that he is built things up. Knight going to attack the house. And scouts are headed back home now. And so Zotico building houses behind the pressure from the knights. And Zotico on his way to the castle age. Zotico does have a couple spearmen there inside of his base if the knights were to get through. The spearmen, not actually great against knights, but if they do have a numbers advantage, can do all right. So all the knights like split up. Of the 5 knights here, they're attacking 4 different buildings. Spearmen moving over to position for the breach. Doesn't have armor on those. They are the speedy Lithuanian spearmen. Zotico adding his stable now. 1 minute, 15 seconds away from the next age. And Knight's going to regroup here and focus their attention on the market. Zotico comes over to repair that. 4 villagers actually repairing. And has preemptively added another wall in here. Didn't notice this before. Zoning off different areas of the base. So even if Daniel gets in, that's built right up to the border there. So have to dive under the TC fire. Knights don't have +2 armor yet as Zotico hits Castle Age. Market still up with the repairs. And Market actually gaining HP, about to be back to full health. Back at home, 3 TCs now for Daniel. Daniel just now grabbing bloodlines for his knights. +2 attack on the way for Zotico. And a monastery. Monk coming out. The monk defense here could be very strong. Knight's actually going to just give up on the market for now. Daniel can't see that monastery. Is further enough back. Six knights out for Zotico. 10 for Daniel. And no one has taken any of the relics yet. So we've got 1 here in the middle, 1 over here by the knights, 2 on the western edge, and 1 over here next to Daniel's base. As far as relic generation, favoring Daniel slightly, I think, here. As this one, despite being on Blue's side of the map, is still pretty far from his base. And Daniel is actually going to try to grab what was the closest relic to Zotico as the first one. So taking advantage of the map control here. And Zotico has scouted a couple of the relics, just 2, actually. And it looks like the one from the center got grabbed here also while we were looking around at the relics. So there's the monastery. Relic from the center is in. Relic from Zotico's side on the way. And the knight's going to escort the monk home. Is that what we're about to see here? So Zotico, out looking for the relics, has found these 2 on the southwest side of the map. And using the sheep over here that he stole from Daniel to look for some relics in this area now also. Knights do get the kill on that monk. So just the 1 relic in for Daniel so far. That was in the center. And Knight's going to fight. Knight's not going to fight? Zotico, 2 monks here to go for some conversions. Couple downhill hits come in. And so Zotico here now has the hill, the monks, and the upgrade advantage. Larger army also. 15 knights here compared to 10 for Daniel. And it's going to reclaim what was the relic that spawned closest to him. Monks and knights headed forward for Daniel now. This monk going to slip by undetected. Trying to get a conversion. Conversion comes in. And Daniel takes the fight here, still behind in upgrades. 4 monks, though, for red. 2 conversions there for him. And now Daniel grabbing some more of those upgrades. Zotico getting the better of this engagement, though, despite the conversions. So 21 to 10 now in kills after great fight there from blue. Monk goes down to the knights. And Zotico has snatched another relic. Not actually at home yet for him. Thought he had picked up 2. There's the second one. And is going to deposit them at the forward monastery here rather than the safer one back into his base. Zotico grabbing fervor now. The monks will be able to make it over here to this last relic a bit more quickly. And Daniel's on his way up to the Imperial Age. Does have a big eco lead, 100 to 63. And Zotico's got about twice the army size right now, 30 to 13. And 2 relics in now for each player. So these knights have +4 attack right now with iron casting in and the 2 relics. And why isn't Dan making army? Why? Don't know. It seemed like he was saving up to go to Imp at first, but he's not really producing a lot now, just pikemen. Well, 13 pikes in the queue now. Zotico grabbing Sanctity next. So monks will be stronger. Monks with Sanctity can take 1 more hit from a scout. Zotico's going to have the stone for a castle here in just a moment. Castles were the deciding factor in the previous game. And none have been built from either player. Daniel also has the stone. He could make one if he wanted to. And a couple knights headed over this direction. 1 relic over here still unclaimed. And villagers and knights moving down the hill here. Castle's actually going to be placed at the top of the hill. No range upgrades yet for Zotico. So the castle will cover a bit more of the pit here with the gold once those come in. Daniel going to place his castle at home. Has 32 pikemen now. +2 attack, +1 armor on the pikes. Castle complete up here on the ridge. What do you want to see? The underrated Lithuanian Cav Archer? I'm a big fan of Cav Archers in general. Not so much lately with the new regrouping logic, with the new and improved pathing. If in my opinion makes Archer Micro a lot less effective. Forward spear from Zotico, raiding under the TC. Daniel grabbing crop rotation. Lots of big farming bonuses in the series so far, seeing the Slavs with the 15% faster work rate, and then Khmer here with the no drop-off and crop rotation in. Some very high output, high speed, low drag farms here. And Halberdier moving forwards. Doesn't know about the castle yet. Wants to put his own castle here in the pit rather than on the hill. Going to be in for a Fruit Awakening here in a moment. So Halberdier discover the castle. One goes down and must have known that there would be one there as he had the trap at the ready before actually scouting that the blue castle was here. Zotico not yet in Imperial Age, unable to make his own treb as he's adding in a castle back there defensively at home also. And Knight's going to take the fight against the Halberdier. They do have the hill. Going to try to snipe the trebs also. And Knight's going to win the fight there over the Halberdier. So the relic bonus, the healing, and the hill, enough for the Lithuanians to get the better engagement there despite playing into a counter unit. Castle at 90% here for Daniel. And more Knights do go down there to the pack of Halberdier defending the castle. So Zotico started off getting a surprisingly good trade there with the Knights. Did take down both trebs, but then took heavier losses over here on this side as the castle does complete. And the blue castle stays up with 1,000 HP. Another treb rolling in. So Zotico on his way up to Imperial Age now. Lithuanians can make Bombard Cannon. Khmer cannot. Castle goes down. And Daniel wants another one. Daniel getting +2 armor on his infantry now. Handcart coming in for Zotico. Give me Lithuanian skirms or give me a game 5. So yeah, the Lithuanian skirms would be good here. Skirms do some bonus damage against the spear line. These halbs again going to walk into some castle fire. To go down there, Daniel retreats back up the hill, and his second castle in the middle at 90%, so that will complete. And trebs rolling forward, 3. Like these knights headed out to raid. Conversion comes in there at home. So no raid to be found as... Well, there is actually a hole there. That is, in fact, an overchop as the monk walks through it. And monk will go down. That monk did get at least one conversion. Villagers going down on the wood line now as the Lithuanian knights are in. Town bell from Daniel. Knights up to +5 attack now. So this relic over in the corner was eventually brought in. Zotico in Imp now. And loses the monastery with the relics in it. Monks there do grab them. Trying to move those relics back into the safety of his base. Zotico going for Cavalier. Castle going down quickly to 4 trebs on the hill. Looks like no repairs right now. Zotico does have 1,000 stone. And picked up the relics with the monks. Didn't actually then task them back to the other monastery. Trebuchet is firing on the monks now. And monks go down to the Pokeboys. 57 Halberdier here advancing for Daniel. And Zotico going to add in a new castle here. The castle not going to last long against the Treb. So there's chemistry. So I think chemistry first, wait for that to complete, and then make the castle. As this might just be a bit of a throw here for wasting the stone if the castle just immediately gets Treb down before Zotico is able to get any cannons out. Cavalier did come in. Daniel grabbing his +2 armor now, and Hoardings and Conscription. So castle up, Trebs moving forwards. Daniel doesn't see yet that there is another castle back there. Barracks going down to the pointy boy. Just kidding. And now Daniel sees the castle. Looks like the Trebs actually will still be able to fire from the hill. Daniel grabbing his Cavalier upgrade now also. Chemistry is now in for Zotico. And castle down to 2000 HP. Zotico trying to repair. And castle goes down. Gonna make a TC out here on this stone. There are 2 knights out here. They don't see that that's happening. And another castle here along the void on the back of the base. And I don't see a workshop yet. Castle complete. Going for hand cannoneer from these ranges on the side. A bunch of villagers continuing to head forward here. Daniel pop capped at 200. Daniel has full control of all the gold in the middle. And then the Cavalier gonna find the TC, get some kills here on the stone. Huge mass of Halberdier moving forward as Zotico goes for Conscription. And it looks like Cavalier are going to be able to take care of these Trebs as the Halberdier advance towards the Hand Cannoneers and the Eco. So all 4 Trebs go down, not before the TC though. Maybe a bit preemptive? Nope, all the Trebs do go down. Hand Cannoneer, great choice against the Halberdier. And gonna even meat shield with the Cavalier. Don't know that that's worth it. And new TC for Zotico. All the pikes do go down. Zotico ahead and kills 150 to 110, but a lot of gold to throw away there. That many Cavalier when your opponent has total control over all the gold on the map. Another TC on the side. Weak villager. Wolf Cadet maybe gets the kill here? Four HP on the villager. Cavalier working on the mining camp. And 25 Cavalier here for Daniel now. New set of Trebs rolling out. Monks, Halberdier accompanying the Cavalier and Trebuchets forward. Daniel goes for conversion. And the target is killed before the conversion can come in. Hand Cannoneer go down to the Cavalier. And it looks like we're headed to game 5. Daniel gets a victory there with the Kamai, leaving him Saracens, Ethiopians, Italians, or Teutons to play in the series deciding game 5 coming up next. And the loss there to Lithuanians for Zotico. So he will have his selection of then Mayans, Japanese, Byzantines, and Dravidians. Zotico playing as the Byzantines here in the red. If our players do decide to contest water, the Byzantine fire ships a bit faster. Byzantine buildings also stronger. Byzantines lost my train of thought there, zooming out with the camera somehow. But stronger buildings, cheaper Imperial, it's bigger line of sight. What I was trying to spit out there as our scouts are fighting right away here in the center of the map. And Zotico wins it. So first kill goes to Zotico. 3 HP left on the scout. Excuse me. Neither player seeing each other's location before that skirmish happens. So if Daniel is attentive, could get a shot with a villager in on the passing scout later, maybe kill this guy. Daniel had been pushing his deer a lot, will be unable to do so now. These, though, pretty close to the town center, could go for the long-distance haul or just dropping a mill over here. No berries on Scandinavia, so the mill on the double deer, a good way to play that. 3 boars also on this map, in addition to fish out here. House coming up there on the back. House on the front for Zotico. And slight advantage for Daniel already in idle TC. Has been consistent again through the best of 5 here. Daniel's Dark Age build just a little bit cleaner. The first boar has come in for red. Like still on the sheep here for Daniel. All 3 boars still up, headed that way in the board's direction presently. Goes for the classic 2 shots on the boar. Just 1, actually all that's required now in DE. Alright, nice lure. Boar nice centered underneath the TC. Plenty of space to fully saturate that boar without bumping into the wall of the building. Dock up on the back for Daniel. No dock yet for Zotico. And first fishing ship comes out. And Daniel actually with a few seconds now of idle time. So players just about tied up, 11 to 12, though Daniel will start to gain the eco advantage with the dock running. Working on some walls here. And bringing in the second boar. Like timed just right as the first boar decaying into the earth there. Behind this lovely Christmas tree here in front of the town center. Second boar out for Zotico. Weakening the boar with the TC. Nicely done. Zotico went for the deer mill here. And setting a villager forward, potentially into 4 wolves. Ooh. Quick walls! Quick walls! So Zotico on his way up does get the house down. De-aggro's 1 of the wolves. And gets a second. Let's go. Who says you can't quick wall on controller? Look at this guy. De-aggro's all 3. Tremendous play there from Zotico to keep that villager alive. And it's going to build a forward dock now. Daniel also on his way to the next stage will be up about a minute behind. And doesn't have the wood for the dock now that the villager has created her perilous journey. Completed, not created. There we go. Dock on the way. Dock will be very close to the shorefish there, so efficient if he wants to fish over here as well as producing what are likely going to be the Byzantine fire ships. And so especially because Daniel doesn't have a scout, he'll have no idea that that's coming. Zotico grabbing his wood upgrade. Daniel going for the barracks. Daniel's barracks up at home. Doesn't have another production building yet. Going to be focusing on the aggression from the water. And Daniel sending the fishing ship over is actually going to now see the dock. So Daniel sees the dock and he is now in feudal age himself. Fire coming out, and she just can't catch a break, having to fight off a bear now. So if Zotico wins this villager, the victory rests on her shoulders. This is like the hero of the Byzantines here. Range coming up now for Daniel on the front. Our players actually pretty close together here. And pushes one of his deer outside of the wall with the villagers building the house there. Zotico grabbing horse collar. Doesn't have a farm yet. Didn't make a dock at home to fish. And first fire is out on the fish now. No production from the dock for Daniel. Zotico's got a spearman in the queue at home. Another fire ship, or fire galley, I suppose, at this point, coming out here. And Daniel's producing some archers. Still in the range here. Doesn't yet have fletching. Weak scout looking around. Gets in before the wall. And is going to maybe escape now. So scout goes back out. And fire ship going to work there on the dock. And so Daniel just going to give up the water here. Still no production from his dock. And Zotico has stopped production at 3 fire ships also. Still taking some of the shore fish over there. Daniel mostly walled up here at home. Where are those archers at? Archers just hanging out here on the gold. Zotico adding in his market. Just about has his resources to head to the next stage. Looks like he still needs another building, though. Doesn't quite have his wood to make a blacksmith. And it's going to go for the range. The Byzantine trash unit's cheaper. And he didn't actually see. I thought he was going to make some skirms after seeing the range here, but doesn't actually have vision on that yet. And Archer gets a kill there on the weak scout. Zotico on his way to Castle Age, Daniel grabbing his farm upgrade. Getting close on resources to follow to Castle Age, likewise adding in a market. The 2 ranges up for blue, just the 1 here for red. Blacksmith now coming in, helping to wall up on the wood line. Or maybe hindering, as if the archers come in here, this preventing a route you could escape from, maybe not actually helpful. And Town Bell to drop off some resources there. And take 2, as we don't quite have the 800 yet. Archers firing on the house over here. Saracen archers do some bonus damage against buildings. So full water control on this side for Zotico, who has added at least 1 fishing ship. 1 more is in the queue. Fletching coming in now for Zotico. Daniel did already get that on his side. Both players on their way up. Daniel will be there first by about 2 minutes. Just in case anyone needed a reminder, they're not as good as these guys. And Woody, I'm sorry to hear about that traumatic experience you had to endure with your kids there. I've had plenty of that going around lately. We're mostly feeling better now, but the previous, 7 weeks, someone in the house has been sick, nonstop. Just a new illness from preschool coming home, being passed around every week. Zotico going for Elite Skirm now. Archers from Daniel gonna retreat. Bodkin in the queue now for Zotico also. And it looks like these archers will get home. Skirmisher still in pursuit. Elite upgrade has completed. We'll have Bodkin and the first armor. Second TC here. Lots of satisfying TCs on Scandinavia, the way that the resources can spawn so close together. It's the type of TC you see on Nomad a lot, where you can cover multiple resources with the one. Crossbow on the way for Daniel, also adding in a knight and some cav armor. Daniel ahead by 4 farms right now. Zotico, though, does also have 3 fishing ships out, so pretty close overall then in a food collection. Zotico, actually not ahead. Both players pretty much dead even at 85-60 in resources collected. Zotico now grabbing the pikeman, so got elite skirm already, and now also going to pike. So full trash mode from the Byzantines. Third TC snugged up in here between the gold and the wood. Is this spearman out to just have a look around now? And maybe a dock? Is that where these guys are going? Or, no, they're headed out here to place a barracks. Alright, so Skirm's out here exploring. Daniel gonna add defensive siege. Sending the crossbows forward, 14 of those guys now. Does not have Bodkin yet. And Pikeman escapes with his life there. Daniel deletes his house, but then doesn't continue to head back home that way. And crossbow looking for damage. No one home there on the wood line. Zotico now going to add a monastery. And Knight's going to be able to get in over here as the base not fully walled. Second archer armor coming in now for those skirmishers. Garrison here from Zotico. Pike's coming over as a scout and knight go down to the TC fire. Zotico ahead in kills 9-1 so far in a 5-0 eco KD. So well defended here. Did not lose a villager as the knights got in on the wood. Crossbow, Mango, Knight coming in on the front now. No production from the monastery. Well, there is a monk somewhere. Where's that monk? I guess the monk was maybe... Not sure if the monk was tasked this way to help defend. And now back the other way. So Mango on the TC. Crossbows get the first eco kill for Daniel there on a farmer. Second Mangonel rolling in. As skirmishers headed over to engage the crossbows. Crossbow gonna retreat. Monk trying to convert a knight, and conversion does come in. Byzantines do have access to redemption if Zotico wanted to try to convert the siege. Mangonel goes down. Mangonel's trade, actually. Monk does not have his faith yet restored as knights come in on the skirmishers underneath the town center. Work efficiency last minute down into the 50s for Zotico, as he's had the TC garrison here for quite a while. Fresh mangonels, 2 more, rolling forwards for Daniel. Decent shot there, getting a couple kills on the crossbows. And the mangonels trade there again. Knight goes down to the pikeman. And Zotico still with the lead in kills, defending well here. Daniel has only managed to kill 3 villagers so far. Though overall now, kills getting closer. Monks here healing up. The Byzantine monks do have a healing bonus, but don't get access then to herbal medicine. Herbal? And back into the TC. TC getting fairly weak, down to below 1500 HP. Byzantine TCs do start off a bit stronger than other TCs. Zotico's got a stone for a castle. And adding in 2 forward ranges here by the dock. Skirmishers, mangonels pushing the attack away. Knight trying to snipe the mangonel, monk trying to get the conversion, and the conversion comes in, keeping the mangonel alive. Villagers now going to top off the HP. And skirmishers coming forward. Gather point for the knight set over here, just walks past the skirmishers. And knight goes down there to the pikeman. Zotico up to just about 1,000 stone. And has over 1,000 gold. So could buy his way up to the next age, especially considering Byzantines can do that more cheaply. Though as far as buying things, though, Saracens do get the best market in the game. And gonna add a defensive castle here in the opening where Daniel had been pressuring. Mangonels trade yet again, as crossbow comes in for Zotico. And Daniel's going to send 2 more mangonels forward here. Zotico's got 1 more of his own in the queue. Villagers back away. Knight goes down to the crossbows before being able to take down the siege. And pikemen likewise melting to the crossbows. Villagers back to work on the castle, trying to dodge the shots. Skirmishers now going down to the mangonels. And back onto stone. So castle denied there at 77%. And Zotico gets the better trade there with the mangonel. Another 3 crossbows going down to the follow-up shot. And castle should complete now up to 90%. Castle up, monks healing. And mangonel still getting some kills, assisted now by the castle fire. Forward workshop in addition to the 2 ranges now. Crossbows moving forward for the sneak attack. Daniel has not seen that. So not an attack move here as the crossbows move past the wood. They are now commanded to attack. Kind of spraying arrows all over the place. Had he got a tight little bunch here and focus fired, could have got a kill or 2. Daniel, though, able to escape. Kill coming in on the farmers. Daniel bringing his own crossbows over now to defend. And these guys both have the same blacksmith upgrades now between the crossbows. A little more health on Red's army. University now at home. So Zotico about to have ballistics here in a moment. And more villagers coming forwards. So next castle, maybe here. And the wolves just don't quit. Red's been fighting with those wolves all game. $60-56 in terms of kills. Daniel did manage to take the lead in Eco KD in the previous pressure here before the castle went up. And so Zotico is actually going to place the castle here. So we'll deny some gold and stone. Also controlling the center of the map. Monk trying to convert the crossbow. Switching to the building now. Monk target switching from buildings between units. Still works when you switch between units. Doesn't work anymore switching from buildings. Monk unable to convert the mangonel. Castle here will complete. And Daniel, minute and a half from the Imperial Age. Zotico still in castle. And we're going to see another forward castle. Encircling his base and castle, going to deny what's left of this gold here. Is there going to be anything left of this gold here? Only 200 gold remaining on that pile. Are the villagers actually going to be able to harvest all of that before the castle goes up? Castle at 30% now. Gold pile down to 150. And they are fighting over here while I'm watching the gold pile get depleted. Alright, Mangonel kills a skirmisher. Looks like Daniel deletes the range to prevent it from being converted. And Daniel abandons the gold mine with 84 gold remaining on it as the castle goes up and crossbow and Mangonel's in on the back. Daniel up, Zotico now behind him will be an imp in 2.5 minutes. Mangonel going down there and trying to convert the workshop. Workshop again deleted. Daniel going to rebuild his siege here on the backside. Zotico just now getting his gold mining upgrade on the way up to Imperial. Daniel added a castle over here. Doesn't actually range the gold though. Did manage to snag a relic. And that's the only relic that's been brought in so far between either player. And gonna convert the blacksmith now. And Daniel deletes the blacksmith. No upgrades for you. Converting the houses now also. I can actually find where that monk is. I hear the sound, but I'm not sure what he's targeting. Oh, it was the market here, right in the middle. Largest building on the screen. Saracen Market getting converted. Play of the game. No, just kidding. That the triple house quick wall on the wolves. Actually, I think that was the play of the tournament, in my opinion, at least just for the meme value. But impressive, still though, legitimately. The Saracen crossbow now firing on what used to be their own market. The market, how you've betrayed us. Zotico grabbing inscription and bracer. Bracer not yet in for Daniel. And yeah, full blacksmith for the Saracens. You guys have it correct. TC goes down. Monk trying to convert the knight. Knight gets away. Well, gets away into the castle fire and pikeman. Knight survives for 15 seconds longer than it would have. So Daniel pushed back into the corner over here. And Zotico, big population advantage now, 146 to 82. And Zotico, our third place winner, then in Lords of Ice, as the GG called here in Game 5. Congratulations. Well played, both you guys. Good series here for third place. Probably the best series of the event. Pretty close in kills to the end of this one, 91 to 95. Zotico again with more conversions. And ahead by just 5,000 resources. Daniel was, though, the only player to grab a relic. And Zotico ahead here in villagers also. Daniel did make more fishing ships, though, before losing water to the Byzantine fires. I'll see you guys next time.